Hey guys, it's Britt. Tonight I'm here to react to a quick video that Without a Crystal Ball put up. Evidently her lawsuit has been settled on. We're going to hear what she has to say. I will give you my final thoughts. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Hey guys, before we get into the video, I wanted to let you know a lot of you have been messaging me regarding the Shanny for Christ situation that's unfolding right before our eyes. I'm going to film that video tomorrow. I'm still doing a little bit of research into some of the key players in this situation. And to be really honest, it's a really hard topic to discuss. And I figured that for today's video, we could talk about something a little bit more lighthearted and share my thoughts on the closeout of the Tati and Without a Crystal Ball lawsuit. So let's get started. All right, you guys, so I remember the video that I did announcing that this lawsuit was kicking off. I think it was early October when the video or when the news came out. And I gave you guys my initial thoughts and my thoughts throughout, so I figured we would finish it out with this video. I haven't seen anything from Tati on this, but of course, Katie Joy jumped up on her channel to let everyone know that the lawsuit was settled, so, you know, anyone that was rooting against her, I guess, is expected to keep their mouth shut now because it's settled and it's done. So, the whole thing is just, in my opinion, the fact that this was settled and just kind of like, okay, we're done here, it didn't show her that any of the things that she did were wrong. A lot of people who are familiar with Katie and all of her nonsense that she stirs up online, this is not the ending that anyone necessarily wanted to see happen. But we are here now, so we're going to let her speak, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. This is a quick video. It's only about 4 minutes. The likes is at 920. The dislikes are at 202. I don't know if that ratio will continue to fluctuate as more people watch this video. Time will tell, but I'll put an updated number on the screen when I'm editing this in case it has changed. Let's see what she has to say.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. How are you? It's Friday, June 4th. I hope you're having a great day. It's beautiful here. I am so happy the weekend is here. I hope you guys get out and have some fun, get some sunshine. I am so excited and I'm super happy because
this whole overly giddy and gloating sort of personality way that she has in some of these more recent videos, to me, it comes off as very disingenuous and fake and phony. I don't know if she's just that happy and that chipper. If she is, good for her. But as someone who has watched a fair amount of her content, to me, this is over the top and it comes off as very phony.
I have some news to share with you. So lawsuits are not fun at all. They're super stressful and they are so expensive. They can also potentially...
They're stressful, they're expensive, but let's all remember, she could have avoided all of this by listening to one of the 4 C&Ds that were sent to her by Tati and James. So anytime I have just a little bit of compassion for what she went through, I also remember that she had 4 warnings that she ignored, and that's why the lawsuit even happened in the first place. So yes, stressful, annoying, expensive, all those things. But when you have 4 warnings and you ignore them, that's where you lose any ounce of compassion that anyone might have given you.
Be avoided if the parties can find a way to sit down with one another and find common ground where they can work out their differences. And that is exactly what happened here. I'm so happy to announce that a settlement has been reached as to all of the claims between my...
She's obviously reading a statement. This is not something that she just memorized. The way that she's reciting it, though, in my opinion, just adds to the... This video feels very fake. It doesn't... Even if I was one of her supporters and one of her subscribers, to me, this just doesn't feel genuine, even if it is being read. Maybe she could have taken a few extra minutes and tried to memorize part of it so she's not looking over here, reading it, and doing this whole reciting gig that's going on, but that's just my opinion.
Myself and Tati and James Westbrook. So I'm not at liberty to tell or discuss any terms of the settlement. But what I can say is that both sides, we engaged in a lengthy mediation, and the process was done in good faith. So during the mediation process, both sides were able to openly and honestly share information regarding the claims and defenses, and especially the claims and defenses related to the defamation claims made in the Washington lawsuit that was filed last October. So through talking with one another in the mediation, I was able to share with the Westbrooks that as part of my defense, some of the certain statements that I had made that they had found to be disparaging had actually come from various sources. In the mediation, I also learned that I learned information from them that actually led me to believe that several of these sources had manipulated me into publishing disparaging statements about the Westbrooks for their own purposes and to otherwise cause harm to the Westbrooks. Because of this, I have since deleted these statements from my social media platforms, and I've removed all the videos related to this matter as well. As the Westbrooks recognized that I had been manipulated and weaponized by some of these sources, the Westbrooks and their representatives have also withdrawn their statements that they've made about me. Starting over a year ago,
I am sorry, I'm not buying this whole manipulation thing. Katie is 40 years old. She has a background in journalism. She wants people to take her so seriously. You can come to my channel for all of the news, all of the, you guys can trust that what I'm telling you is accurate and all of the things that a journalist would be looked at. But that's just not the case, because there's been so many different times where she has been proven to have false information. She doesn't want to correct herself when she's called out or presented with new information. It is very rare that she will come and correct herself, at least based on what I've seen. And the other thing is, if you're a journalist, you have to know that people are going to come to you with fake stories all of the time. If you want to be taken seriously in this profession as a media source, gossip, creator, whatever it is that she wants to be called, she wants to be put on this pedestal, but then she also wants to be able to say, oh, well, I'm just a YouTuber. I'm just this little YouTuber in Minnesota. I don't know. Wasn't me. My hands are clean. You just can't have it both ways. And what I've heard more from her is that she wants the respect of a journalist or of a media source. And for her to be so easily manipulated, I'm just not buying it. I am sorry. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Maybe if this was like a new YouTuber that had never done this type of content and had never talked about public figures or celebrities, maybe they could be more easily manipulated. But for her, I think that she received some information. She knew it would get views. She knew that she could keep her channel growing by covering this type of content about Tati and James. And she could have sensationalized headlines, video titles, crazy thumbnails by continuing with this kind of content. And once they had had enough, they sent the 4 C&Ds. She ignored them. She ended up in the lawsuit. But now the lawsuit settled and she wants to say, oh, but I was manipulated. No.
These sources in particular had repeatedly contacted me totally unsolicited and provided me over the course of several months with disparaging information about the Westbrooks and their various businesses. It's now my opinion that this person contacted me for the purpose of feeding me and manipulating me into publishing disparaging statements about the Westbrooks to cause them harm. This source then sued the Westbrooks.
I don't buy a word that she's saying right here, just my personal opinion. I'm not going to feed into this narrative that she's pushing right now. Do you realize I have a fraction of a channel compared to Katie? I get DMs and emails giving me information about influencers or YouTubers or beauty gurus. If I came to my channel and spouted out all that info every time I received it, I would have probably been in a lawsuit by now too, or at least gotten a C&D. So this tells me that she does minimal research, and she's okay with coming to her channel with whatever, as long as it's going to be a sensationalized title and she can grow her audience and her AdSense at the end of the month. I just have a hard time believing that she was so easily manipulated when Katie has wanted everyone to look at her as this professional gossip channel where you can trust what you're hearing from her, and she knows all the 411. Now it makes me question even more a lot of her other content.
Brooks and asked me to break the story about his lawsuit. This source is the Westbrooks business partner in Halo Beauty, Clark Swanson. As a result of having the ability to speak with the other side,
I could see Clark coming after her ass. If I'm being real honest, I don't think Clark Swanson is here to play around with Katie Joy. And I think that he's, allegedly, in my personal opinion, he is the type that could have someone in lawsuits consistently. So I don't know if this whole video is going to come back to bite her in the rear end. Time will tell. But I don't see Clark Swanson as someone who is going to take to this video very kindly, in my opinion.
And to better develop an understanding of what has happened, I have agreed to provide whatever information and physical evidence I have to the Westbrooks about my communications with the sources that provided me with such disparaging information, and to cooperate in the Westbrooks' efforts to address some of the damage caused by the dissemination of such disparaging information. As there is ongoing litigation in other matters, none of the parties involved in our matter will be discussing or answering any questions about our lawsuit or its settlement. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're done with you, Katie. So yeah, I don't buy it. If Clark Swanson was feeding her all of this crazy information and she just ran to her channel with it, then I think that that says a lot more about her character than anything else. And it proves that, yes, and I understand this concept, oh, everyone does it for views. Everyone makes YouTube videos because they want people to view them. And I understand that concept. But if you are going to run with every little piece of disparaging information that you might hear about someone else, you are going to end up in a complete three-ring circus. When most people take in commentary content, they can appreciate the opinions surrounding the matter. But I also want to know that it's fact-based, and then we can have our opinions around it. Does that make sense? So hopefully it does. The lawsuit is done, so, it's settled. It's not going to be moved to Minnesota or anything like that. So, chapter finished. Do I think that Katie has learned any lessons from this experience? No, I don't. I think that things will continue to unfold. And the problem is that based on what I've seen, she is not someone who respects her platform. And in order to have a platform, that is an honor. And once you grow that platform, you should treat it like, you're almost like your little baby. Like, not literally a baby, but you guys know what I mean. It's your face, and it's your voice, and it's the words that come out of your mouth. They're all very important. And I couldn't imagine just getting an email, not fact checking it, just seeing that I could have a crazy title and running and making a video. That's just not how I roll. I want to have a little bit more integrity. I personally don't believe that she was so easily manipulated, but if she was, and if those are actually the events that unfolded, then all of this journalistic integrity and respect that she constantly demands from people on YouTube goes out the window. So either way, lawsuit's done. I wanted to make this video just to give my final thoughts. I don't wish ill will on Katie. I don't. I never have. But what I would like to see her do is take some of these things and learn from them. And I just don't feel like any of the things that she has been involved in have been learning moments for her. Because I think that when you have someone with a lot of ego and pride, even a lawsuit is not going to mold them to deliver things differently or apologize or anything like that. So either way, those are my thoughts on this. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.